Hi, this is Dina with Pretty Productive. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing and coming along on this budget journey with me. So today what I'm going to be doing is an August week 1 check-in and cash stuffing for my spending account, which is my one envelope that I'm actually using cash. Everything else I'm kind of doing a hybrid of. And so I just kind of wanted to start with the budget setup just to kind of explain what happens once I film the video and then I get paid and then what happens. So if you looked at my check register right now, you see a ton of transfers. So I go through and I write in, you know, our paychecks and everything, our fixed bills that are coming out, and I write them all out at one time because I know, you know, what's going to go onto Capital One and what is going to go directly out of my checking account. And so I just write those in. For electricity and my variable expenses, I just put a placeholder. So like right now I just corrected the $400 I had written into my checkbook to the $375, which is what my bill actually came in at. And then natural gas, I had estimated 40 and it actually was 27. So those have been actualized in my check register, and so I can go through and balance my checkbook. So that is just the way it works for me. Now I know some people just kind of write them in as the transactions occur, but I like to get down to my bare bones, what is really in my account that is my cushion, that has a little bit of a buffer, so that I know that while it may look like I have money in my account, I really don't, because I've already spent that money. On the first of the month, I withdraw or transfer the $970 to savings, because that is attached to my credit union. Vacation, my vacation fund is attached to my credit union, so that comes out on the first as well. And then all of the other ones that are sinking funds or things that bill to my Capital One card, I write out of the checkbook. So I write out fixed expenses, $1,500, because I know I'm going to pay $1,500 from my credit union onto my Capital One card, either a mid-month payment or an end-of-month payment. So those are all my fixed expenses that are going to bill onto that card. Then I add up all of my envelopes that are going to bill onto my card, like, well, giving I've been doing in cash, but groceries, eating out, gas, and then over here in my sinking funds, if they have their own account like Christmas, I do that transfer. I did car maintenance transfer. Everything else, which is a general fund right now, all gets added up and transferred on the first, or by no later than the second. And it takes about 5 days for when I transfer the money out of my credit union into my Capital One account. You see it as a pending, but long after it's cleared my credit union before I'll actually see it in Capital One. So there is a little bit of delay if you're cutting it close, like wanting to transfer money back into your checking account to pay something. It takes a couple days to do that. And then, so everything has been done, and so now I can look at my account and look at the balance that's in my check register, and that's my real balance, which is my real cushion of, you know, what I leave as my buffer. Down here is my crazy math that I did, because I had done something a little different this month. Was I had taken the cash out of my sinking fund envelopes that I keep at the house, and most of them, some of them I left, just depending on how I wanted to run that envelope. And then I took that cash, used it for my cash stuffing, and then put that amount that I should have taken out for cash stuffing back into my sinking funds, and then the excess also went back to my sinking fund. So it does balance, I promise you that. It's just a little hint of my madness that you can imagine. So that is where this stands. Everything has come in, everything has been transferred or moved, and so I'm ready to start spending and tracking my transactions. So on my transactions, I have put them into my transaction log. So what has been a little bit different as well this month, because I am working full-time, my husband has done things like go to the grocery store and put, you know, gas in my car, but he's driving my car. So he's like, don't worry about it, I'll just put gas in because I'm driving it. So I have not put gas in yet, but I haven't driven very much either. So on my sinking funds, I did go ahead and write them out on my transactions, but then I realized that that's stupid because I don't have room for these in here. So I am just going to go through, and I know that for planning, for example, I spent $5 plus $53 plus $22. So I have already spent $80 in planning. And I only put $100 in. So I'm gonna have to put more money in out of my incremental income. And then for gifts, I spent $39. So I'm gonna put 39 negative here, use here. And then for, nope, that's the same one. Okay, so that's what I have spent so far. So 80 out of planning and 39 out of gifts. So I'm gonna try to keep it here instead of trying to balance it at the end of the month, but I probably will go ahead and put them on my little transactions just as another way to hold on to them. And then my transaction log, which isn't very big right now, I can go ahead and highlight for the color that they are. So, because I very much love this color right now, I kept that for my sinking fund. So this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, so those are all coming out of my sinking fund. And then the only other ones I have on here, I have grocery, which is this light blue. And again, my husband paid for it, so it's not on my, I did spend the $2 at Safeway for apples yesterday, but he spent $103 at Costco, so I'm just Venmoing him back the money because I want it to stay, so we know what we're spending instead of him spending his money and, you know, me trying to figure out paying him back, things like that. And then on eating out, that is light green. We had just one for $22. And my yellow for fixed is not here. So I'll catch that one up later. So that's pretty much how I code them. Whatever color I use as my checkbox matches the mild liner, and that's what I highlight in here. So I created these checkboxes to match the mild liners. And it gets asked all the time, is they are ready to be listed. I just have not gotten them listed. So I will get those listed any moment. So that's my transaction. So let's go ahead and add up what we spent. I have received my first paycheck, and it's right now just kind of sitting in the account while I try to figure out what I'm doing with that. So everything in here has been filled out. So in my variable expenses, I had planned $723. They came out at $686, and so that was a upside of $37 back into my budget. Income kind of stayed the same. All of my fixed expenses have been the same. And then this is where I'm going to track my incremental income. And then sinking funds is there. So let's go back to our weekly check-in. So for groceries, I just have the one, and that's Costco for $103. So I had planned $500 for groceries, which is $125 a week, minus the $103. So I have $397 left. I'm gonna tilt this a little bit. And then eating out, I just had one expense for $22. That is one thing with this eating plan. It's not a lot of fun to eat out because I'm very limited. I did take my sister-in-law out to dinner for her birthday. I reined it in, but I was not on plan. And honestly, I felt so gross the whole night. My stomach was killing me. So it's just amazing how quick your body adjusts to getting really good food and not all the processed food, because it did not like it at all, which kind of amazed me. So in spending, this is what I did. I spent 3 plus 4 plus 2. Plus 2. So I spent 11, but this Sonic for my mom, I had the cash with me, so I paid that out of my spending money, but I'm gonna go ahead and pay myself back out of my mom's envelope. So, you know, I could just keep it that way, but I just figured I really wanted to track it correctly. So 200 minus 11 is 189. And this just amazes me. I didn't realize how much money I spent because I was out of the house every day. You know, when I was working, I was in a mall, so I was sometimes grabbing food on my way to work if I was hungry. We'd grab, you know, drinks and stuff at the mall, and then on the way home, because I was starving at that point, I would grab dinner on my way home. So it's amazing when, now that I'm working from home, I'm just not spending any money, which is great. Entertainment, I have not spent anything. Personal care, I have not spent anything. Miscellaneous, I have not spent. My mom, I spent 10, so she has 90. And I have not spent any money in gas. So overall, pretty good week. I know this is not gonna be my reality. Now next week, I'm obviously working Monday through Friday, but my husband's gonna be out of town about midweek through to the next week. So that means that I'm gonna have to do my own grocery shopping and my own, you know, putting gas in my car, things like that, which is great. And then I'll deal with that next week. And then I just want to go ahead and check. First of all, I'm gonna take the $10 out of my mom's just so that I can she of course does not have any $10. Let's see, so this is the money I have in my wallet. So 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So that is right. And so I'm gonna just take the 20 and put into hers a 10. So 20, okay, so that's 39. And then on hers, I will she was so excited to get Sonic, even though she was eating a very early dinner when I got there. And she was gonna save it for later. I'm like, Sonic does not keep well, but you know, if you wanna save it for later, you go right ahead. So that is 90. And then hers is right. And then I kind of feel like I shouldn't even take the 50 out, but I'm going to, just because, you know, maybe when my husband's out of town, I'll be out a little bit more. And so that gives me $100 left for week 3 and week 4. And then I'll go ahead and put that in here with this money, and then have to keep track of that. So I started with 39 plus 50, so I should have 89. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. Okay. So next week when I go to balance this, you guys can all yell at me in the camera to say, no, you started with 89, not 50, because I won't balance. Okay, so one of probably the easiest check-ins I have ever done, but I feel like I just have so much more time to update my transactions, things like that, because I'm not running in and out of the house. I'm just here. I'm working kind of 7 in the morning till 3, so I still have like full, you know, afternoon off, which is great. So yeah, so far so good. So let me know if you are all set up with your August budget and how that is going. I did a surprise giveaway at the end of my last budget video. If you watched till the very end, because it was a very long one. It was my August setup and cash stuffing, and went through the sinking funds. So I am going to pick a winner, and I will post that on the community tab in YouTube, and the winner will find out what they won. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and I hope you are doing well. Take care.